Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here, and today I have another knife review for you. Now, I've had a lot of problems with my computer lately. The video editing software and the computer are not being friends right now. So I haven't been able to put out a video for a while. I have filmed several, so hopefully I'll be able to start releasing those soon. So I'm kind of reduced to using my phone right now, so hopefully this will turn out well. I haven't tried one with that yet. But for now, let's get back to the purpose of the video. Gonna let you see the Joe Pardue Utilitac 2. Right out the box, go ahead and get some of the specs out of the way. 3.5-inch blade is G10 handle scales, weighs 5.6 ounces, liner lock, and as you can see, semi-open pillar, does have a back spacer in it, pocket clip that is 4-way adjustable. Tip up, tip down, left and right. Does have a little bit of jimping here on the back. Not real fine, but it does help. It definitely is functional jimping, I will give it that. There is that little bit, as you can see, in the liner lock as well. The G10 though, I will say that the scales on here are really fine, so you don't get a whole lot of traction there. But along with that, I also will tell you, I haven't had any issue with that slipping in my hand. I kind of thought it would be at first because of how smooth it was, but no, never had an issue. And another thing I want to say, and the blade steel, as you can see here, AUS 8A. And I have done research on that because there are a lot of blades that are AUS 8 and some that are AUS 8A. So I kind of really wanted to know what the difference is, and apparently there's not much. The steel composition is basically the same. The heat treat is the only difference. And I don't know, so far from my experience, those that are actually labeled 8.8, AUS 8A, do tend to perform a little better, in my opinion. But there are sometimes they say that you could have AUS 8A and not know it, because they may not designate it so. So, just so you know, just something to take note of. But one of the things that I really like to say is the blade design on this is just killer. As you see, you have this unsharpened swedge up here. It is a fairly wide blade. I mean, if you can hold it to my hand. So, I won't say this is a real hard to use knife, but it's definitely, could definitely take hiking, camping, that kind of stuff. Because in the wilderness, I mean, I have used this, and as you can see, man, it takes a razor sharp edge. I mean, you can do all kinds of notching, carving, anything like that. All of your finer camp tasks. And then, of course, all of your EDC tasks, it flies through cardboard because it is a fairly thin blade, as you can see here. So slicing, it does outstanding. I mean, it's been an awesome knife. And I tell you what, it's made by Ontario. And I think I have the same opinion that a lot of other people do, and that is that Ontario should make a lot more pocket knives. They do have some. There's several versions of this. But the only difference between each one is just the handle scales. They'll be shaped a little differently. Say hello, baby Glot. Hi. They have some that are more square, and then of course ones you can get with either a different blade shape or a blade coating. The one that was more square just didn't look as comfortable, in my opinion, or looked like it would be as comfortable. She's showing off something she just made for Easter. But what I like about this is, I mean, the blade shape is really comfortable, fits in the hand extremely well. As you can see here, I mean, full hand grip, is wide. I mean, it is 5.6 ounces, so it is a little heavy for a pocket knife. But as you can see here too, I mean, effortless. I mean, this thing flies out of here with no effort whatsoever, partially due to the bronze bushings that hopefully you'll be able to see in there. I have another knife. It's the Red Jacket 1911. That was also made by Ontario, and I'll tell you what, one thing that this has done is convinced me that I'm buying another pocket knife made by Ontario. Probably the Rat will be the next. But I mean, as you can hear, it flips out with authority, smooth as silk. You know, of course, it's adjustable with the pivot screw here if you need it. Now, the only knock I have to give this knife is the blade centering. As you can see here, not all that centered right here. Where it kind of sounds like It's scraping the edge just a tiny bit. Now part of that is just because it does pop down and lock into place, so the blade retention is really normally really good. I think I may have loosened the pivot screw a bit too much, but normally it pops in. But what I haven't noticed is any scratching or anything like that. The blade doesn't rub down here at the bevel at all, so it must be hitting just right around here, but it's not scratching or marring the blade at all. But I mean, I have absolutely loved this knife. I'm kind of depressed that I'm gonna have to stop carrying it so I can carry something else. Although I do still mix in past knives that I reviewed in with my EDCs. Oh, and the other knock that I would give it, yes, there is no milling of the liners. To me, that would make not a huge difference in weight, but it would make it enough to make it, you know, a little more appealing for a lot of people in the EDC realm, or even your backpackers. But I don't know how to say, this knife is just fun. I mean, like I said, it's effortless to flip it out. It's smooth as butter. Takes a wickedly sharp edge. I mean, I've now started getting into stropping, and that kind of put it back to that awesome factory edge that it had. But I'll tell you what, I mean, there's nothing that this knife almost can't do for your, you know, along with the expectations and limitations of a pocket knife. You can't go wrong. I mean, I got this knife, I think it was $25 from Cutlery Shop. And it's been impressive. The only time I've had a problem with it is I almost lost it when I was out in the woods shooting. As you can see with the pocket clip, I think just from wearing it so much, that little bit of distance in between the scales and the clip, when I was rolling around on the ground, which most people would never do, it came out of my pocket, got lost in the leaves, but luckily I found it. So just something to keep in mind though. I mean, I can't just take the pocket clip off and bend it. And the next time I go to carry it again, I've got some new knives now that I'm carrying, but next time that's what I'll do to fix that issue. But I mean, as you can see, I mean, it's just a gorgeous blade. As you see, it's also on there. Collector's first production run. Now, I'm not really sure you would consider this collectible, although it may be possible. But I really wish that Ontario would make more pocket knives. If the ones that they have are all like this, then there's no reason not to buy them. But I would recommend, obviously, as you see, well, now the blade's holding in. Maybe I hit it with my thumb and that's why it popped out earlier. So I was going to say, maybe watch your pivot screw and how much you loosen it or tighten it, but I must have hit it. So, alright, well, I hope this helps you. Hope the video looks okay. Like I said, it's the first one I've done off my phone. Been down to do one, but with all the computer problems I've had, I've run every antivirus software, malware, everything that you can think of, but for some reason I can create the video, edit it, convert it, but then after it's converted, the computer's not recognizing that it exists. So I don't know what to do about that. The help button on the editing software goes nowhere. What do you do? Alright, so hopefully this helps you in your purchasing decision. The Joe Pardue, son of Mel Pardue, famous knife maker, Utilitac 2 by Ontario. Highly recommended. And yes, that is just a seriously cool looking blade design. Alright guys, in the meantime, be prepared, have fun.